managed to squeeze myself under the bed, curling myself up and sitting in silence. I could hear the sound of heavy, large footsteps that shook the house, getting closer and closer. There was heavy exhaling and inhaling coming from the living room, and I covered my mouth to keep myself from shouting. As the creature drew closer towards the room I was in, black smoke poured in, making it hard to breathe. Was the place on fire? I felt the air grow frigid and it was hard to breathe. A dark figure in a pitch-black cloak stood in front of the bed, and I could see that the suffocating black smoke was coming from this thing. I didn't want it to find me. I didn't know what it was or what it wanted, but I knew if it found me it would not end well. I waited for the figure to move, but it stood still, breathing heavily. As much as I wanted to stay awake, the smoke was overpowering. I quickly passed out underneath the bed. Horrific visions flashed through my brain while I was passed out. The visions of war, famine, children and animals being murdered, fire, and civil unrest were unrelenting. The blood and gore felt so real as if I could touch it. I woke up, screaming and shaking. The figure was no longer standing there, and I quickly climbed out, running towards the exit of the house. As I stepped outside, I could see I was in the middle of a forest. I never lived anywhere near the woods. When I turned back towards the house, I could see that the house had changed from the familiar old house in downtown St. Louis that I had grown up into a structure that looked as if it were built within a tree. I walked towards the entrance, peeking in to see if anything had changed, and to my surprise everything looked as it had before exiting the house. It was the same abandoned, vandalized home on the inside, and a totally different structure on the outside. I let out a what the fuck before stepping back outside, looking over my surroundings. I hoped more than anything this was just some fucked up dream, but I knew deep down this was my new reality.